Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for coming to this event. I'm Andrei Vorobyov. I'm Director of Product Management and Technology. This is my new role. Small background. I started my career eventually on a bridge after Maritime Academy. It didn't last long, I should admit. And then I changed to Transas to get involved in the ECDIS development, first world's ECDIS. Then I had a challenge on the commercial side with a company dealing with dynamic positioning system. And 2011, with a lucky case, I changed back to technical side and joining or rejoining the older team on a chat world to be the CTO. So today we understandably talk a lot about ECDIS. What we should not forget also that there are some other use cases, and some of them do contribute to the efficient use of the ECDIS on a bridge. Most, or at least many of you, are familiar with all sorts of the fleet management system with a different flavor. Some of them fine-tuned for optimization, some of them fine-tuned for logistic, and so on and so forth. With our focus on safety of navigation, we do our modules which focus on navigational safety-related stuff, and this includes the collaborative voyage planning, due diligence, post-voyage analytics to some extent, and emergency response and accidents investigation. The other use case is, which is unfortunately getting popular nowadays, military use. All sorts of the combat management or weapon control system, which needs information 5,000 meter down, 10,000 meter up, complete the tactical picture. That includes the support of the product like additional military layers, MIL 2525, terrestrial model, DTED, and also ARINC, which is the airline or air traffic information, air traffic corridor, and so on. Eventually, it will come to the point where S500 series, the military information, is mature enough. Then we start to use this one as well. Third case is the operation of remote control and autonomous vehicle vessels. And that includes the survey drone, combat drones, and eventually autonomous ships. Not necessarily completely, but there will be a transition period where some of the functionality will be done ashore. And the first candidate would be the elements of the route planning, where the support by the chat data would be critical. So as soon as the S100 is around the corner, we're happy to introduce a new product called Nautilus Chat Server. This is the product which sits on top of our Nautilus kernel, but does slightly different job. Whenever all the bells and whistles and complete control of the ECDIS functionality is not critical, then the reduced API is of benefit for the easy integration into other chat display applications. It does have flexible configuration, and it's scalable to meet the different performance requirements. Highlights. For now, we released the first version, which supports S57 and S101 ANCs. So it's already dual fuel in a way. It also supports the inland ANC and additional military layers. Soon in the pipe, S102, and also the functionality for limited data query. Ease of use, quick installation and setup, simple to administer and configure via the web portal. Easy in automated chat installation using a wizard. So it's really error-prone and easy to handle. Scalability, easy scalability by having one central chat library and multiple Nautilus chat server instances. can be provided as the container image for easy deployment. These are examples of the web portal. Before, the predecessor product were managed by different scripts and configuration files. Now it's totally concentrated on the web portal. Here's some other examples. It also includes the viewer for just for those who are not familiar with the chat server functionality. It doesn't have a fancy GUI or controls or whatever. What it does, it renders and delivers chat pictures, chat images to be used in other subsystem applications. Yeah, here's the use of the portal, where you have a section with administration and configuration. There's a chat installation process going on where you need to upload all the data. In this example, it's S101 data. For, let's say, efficiency and security reason, all the processing is happening in the cloud. For now, the checks or initial checks are reduced or disabled because we do have some challenges with the data. So now you see the installation process. It also includes all sorts of logs. So for central processing, which is especially of interest in the larger system, where you can integrate this information into a central management system. Okay, and this is also include the viewer. Now you see the display of S101. Okay, the outlook, what's going to happen next for development, support of S102 is obvious. Basically, as soon as the Nautilus kernel is the key part of the chat server will do pretty much all the chat formats and chat data Nautilus can handle. So potentially all the S100 products will be supported. Of course, we need to see on availability of the data and on the demand. Additional APIs were considered, like different OGC API family, like features and maps and tiles. All is a matter of additional, rather small module, and it's easily implementable. Hosting option is going to be available when we see the demand, and most importantly, when the availability of the data is, let's say, on a reasonable level. Yeah. Issues to be addressed before S100 arrival. We can sort all the technical issues. We get used to it. Where it gets difficult is the regulatory and the legal side, and especially licensing. So for applications like web mapping, and still quite a bit of challenge. I was glad to hear today from colleagues from Prima that there is a progress done on this side to, let's say, open up for the different use cases. For now, no global ANC coverage available for web mapping, fragmented licensing policy, complete available ANC coverage is still too expensive for the purpose. We're talking about quite a substantial amount, which not necessarily an easy go for any company. Support of ANC data use for functions other than chat display is lacking. So, for instance, where you need to grab the data, the vector data for the processing of alerts and for constructing additional information layers. The licensing scheme today fine-tuned purely for the display. Display for navigation purposes. That needs to change. Use of data in artificial intelligence environment is not defined either. And this is a big demand. At least we can foresee that it will be a big demand. So S100 has a multiple products, and the complexity of the data licensing scheme needs to be avoided by all means. Yeah. That also, by the way, applies to S100 ECDIS. Today, we introduced, for instance, pays for customers, and that it make it really easy for the users to select the data for the voyage. If we give them a selection, we want to select S101 data or S102, S104, they're going to lose, so they're going to be lost. I think the most efficient way is to offer it as a package. So then all the data is available to the ship from A to B. Yeah, also ideal in a pace basis or similar one. So, yes, thank you.